Hey everyone, how are you doing? Good to see you all. For those of you who are new here, my name is Vipin Singh and I work as a technologist out of Gurgaon, India. So I've been doing this YouTube thing for the last few months now, and luckily along the way I've also gotten some good appreciation from a bunch of you. So thanks a lot for that. And some of my close friends and colleagues have also asked me if I intend to make a video on running at some point, given how much I talk about it. So that's exactly what I'm planning to do today. Running indeed has been very central to my life for the last 5 to 6 years. And I feel like other than keeping me healthy, it has also helped me learn and imbibe a few important lessons along the way. And when I talk about these lessons, they may actually sound a bit familiar to you. But for me, running is the thing which has really helped me feel these lessons in my bones. And I think that's the place where it really starts to make a difference. So with that, let's get started. Okay folks, so the first lesson that I want to talk about is regarding patience and how it is so key to our personal and professional lives. And obviously for a lot of people, this is something that's a given, and I appreciate people who have this trait naturally. But for me, I've had to work on this over the years. And also some of this comes with age and maturity, but I think running has helped me in a big way as well. So how, right? Okay, so I want to talk about two aspects of running here. The first is the day-to-day aspect of running, especially when I'm out on a long run. And especially when I have a reward of some sort waiting for me on the other side. Now, this could be a nice meal out with friends, going out, having fun, or just having a nice cold beer all by myself. But what you realize is that when you are in a run like that, there is no way to rush it. There is no way to get to the reward any quicker. There is no way around it. There's only one way, and that's through it. And it's going to take the time it's going to take. All you can do is you can be patient and keep moving one leg after the other. That's it. And you can be sure that if you keep doing that, if you keep at it for the next 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours, whatever, you will get there. Now, one could argue that this can be said for pretty much any activity, right? You are doing something and you're waiting for the rewarding experience, you get through the motions and you will get to the reward eventually. I think the difference with running though is that while you have to be patient, and waiting, you also have to go through this fairly excruciating effort and keep working pretty hard at it. So not just patience, but hard work as well. And that I believe is the perfect analogy for life as well. If you are looking to achieve something substantial and meaningful, you have to be patient and you have to be working hard at the same time. Now the second aspect of running that I want to talk about is running over a longish period of time. A lot of runners get good at it very quickly because their bodies respond to running very well. For some people though, it takes weeks or months or even years to see any improvement. But if you keep at it, it definitely happens. No doubt about it. And once again, you got to be patient, right? This actually reminded me of this thing that I read about recently, the plateau of latent potential in this book, Atomic Habits. I'm going to share a link to that in the video description, so do check it out. And with that, we'll move on to the second lesson as well. Alright folks, on to the second lesson now. And that is simply that do not compare yourself to anyone else, just with your own self from earlier. Now, when you're at the start of a race, especially a long one, perhaps a marathon or a half marathon, you'll begin the race with a number of people around you. Plenty of people who start the race with you, and through the course of the race, some of these people would be in front of you, some of these people would be behind you. Unless you are this guy, because then you'll always be in front of the pack at all times, right? Anyways, so think about this, right? This is so damn similar to life as well. As you move along the journey of life, the tendency is to compare yourself to other people who started the journey with you, or at least hit some major milestones along with you. Maybe graduating school, maybe graduating college, and so on, right? The tendency always is to compare yourself to these other people. And that is the most futile thing of all. No one else is running the race that you've run so far. No one else has had the same preparation leading up to it as you did. And no one else has had the same conditions, the same worldview as you coming into this race. So why do you compare? How do you think the results would be the same? I think while most people understand this, they don't employ this idea in their daily lives. And I think that is the place where running can help you build that perspective. It definitely has helped me. I love to describe this idea using this beautiful Instagram post I saw a while back, but for the life of me, I've not been able to find it again. So I try to recreate it here. It is simply a picture of a bunch of Avengers, and at the bottom it says, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Everyone's journey is different. Now if you think about this, that is so right. Captain America was a shy kid from Brooklyn who became Captain America because of the serum injected into his body. Bruce Banner was a doctor and he became Hulk because he got exposed to some gamma radiations. So yeah, don't compare yourself to anyone else. In the end, we all will end up being Avengers. On to the third lesson. Okay folks, we are just about to wrap this up here. The third and the last lesson that I want to talk about is that the more you do, the more you can do. And by that, I don't mean that go and get yourself involved in every last activity. No, please don't. Essentially, in runners, there is this tendency to think that they can do more, but they worry whether their body or stamina would let them and whether they would injure themselves in the process. I'll take my own example. So for a very long time, I've run very regularly, but mostly short distances. And over the years, I slowly graduated to longer distances as well. But for the last 3 months, I've been able to run a 10K every time I've stepped out of the house. I never thought that I was the kind of runner who could do it. It obviously takes a lot of effort, but it takes time too. And takes a fair bit of time with the lead time and the lag time for the run. But not only has my body been able to do it, I've also been able to find the time to do this in my fairly busy days. And if that means I let go of a bunch of useless activities, then so be it. And the same thing applies to life too. When I say that the more you do, the more you can do, don't think that I'm telling you to go and do more of those frivolous activities and waste your time. Nope. Do the things that add meaning to your life, things that align with your identity and your values. And even if those things require time and effort and come at the expense of other things, you will figure out a way to make them work. The fluff from your life will just go away and you'll be spending your days, your weeks, your months more intentionally and more meaningfully. There is this brilliant inspirational video that I keep going back to, which I'll share in the description below. This talks about intentional living as well, so do check it out. And with that, we'll wrap up the third lesson. Alright people, so that wraps it up for today's video. I hope you liked this video. If you did, do consider liking and sharing it further. Also, I would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. So if you have any comments, go for it. So that's pretty much it. Stay safe and I'll hopefully catch all of you soon again. See ya.